Welcome to Slow Home. Too many people live in badly designed houses, and we want to change that.
This is day 105 of the Slow Home Project, and we need you to join us in our quest to evaluate the design quality of houses in 9 North American cities in 9 months. This week we are analyzing single-family houses in Denver, and today we are asking everyone to continue posting housing projects to the site. The more data points that we have, the better everything is.
Yeah, now the reason why we're doing this is we're actually compiling all of the information into a report, and we're doing a report on each city. And
Ta-da!
The first one is ready for Toronto, and we're going to be putting this up on the site right away. And so this is actually the result of everybody's collective work on finding apartment lofts, townhomes, and single-family houses, and scoring them using the Slow Home test.
That's right. It's really interesting. We've been talking about the results when we were in Toronto. And looked at some preliminary results from Dallas, and this is actually the full analysis. We've got some good and bad examples of the typical problems in the floor plans. We've got the data, the analysis of each of the 14 questions, how each of the houses did in that, and then an overall review of which houses were fast and slow in each of the categories. So I think it's really interesting. Download, have a look at it. We're going to be moving on and doing Dallas next, and then picking up Los Angeles, which seems like a long, long time ago, and then moving on to Denver when we're finished. So this is the last week in Denver, and we're, as we said at the beginning, looking at single-family houses. And today we're going to do a what's wrong, which house should I buy?
Which house should I buy? Yeah.
Which means we're going to look at 2 different properties that are very, very similar and make a decision about which one we think is slightly better. And the 2 projects are actually in the Lowry East Park neighborhood. They're by Standard Pacific Homes, and Lowry is actually a really interesting thing in Denver. It's a master plan sustainable community located just outside of downtown, and it was on the site of a former Air Force base. I was reading about it. They've been doing all sorts of sustainable things, like reusing the asphalt in the airfields, and a whole bunch of really cool things. So I have a feeling that we're going to be going down there to have a look at that in a month or so. And the 2 projects that I picked for us to have a look at, again by Standard Pacific Homes, there's the Torino, which is a 2,054 square foot 3-bedroom 2-bath house, and the Milan, which is all 2,062 square feet, slightly bigger, 3 bedrooms, 2.5
Very
baths.
similar.
That's
so
right.
Interesting to see.
Exactly. What's interesting is that they both got a walk score of 51, which is pretty good for a single-family house.
Because a lot of them score 0
or
1.
4, so they get full points for the location. Environmental performance, hard to know. It was a sustainable neighborhood. They pushed that. There wasn't any clear environmental features discussed on the Standard Pacific Home website, so we're going to give that one a 0 for both houses. They were both well sited. I'm going to show you the site plan, particularly because they've got rear drive garages and alleyways, which makes a big difference. So let's have a quick look at the site plan. You can see that there's the main street that comes through there, and then there's an alley, and that puts the garage at the back so that we don't have that snout house problem, which I think is really cool. So it's a good site plan.
Yeah, I agree.
It's small. There's 4 different house models for a relatively small number of lots. So I think that's quite nice. So they both get the marks for siting. The Torino, the first house, which is this one, it scored 14 out of 20, and I identified 3 problems that I thought, you haven't really looked at these before, to see. The first one had to do with the entry, and that particularly the back entry.
Yeah, and we've seen this quite a bit in townhomes where the garage entry is not into a sort of an enclosed mudroom space.
That's
and
right.
This one has a sort of a crash right into the stairwell, right into a main circulation area.
Right. At least you're not coming right into the kitchen, but you're there, and then there's the closet is over here, so it's a bit of a trek out into the back. And I think there might have been a way of having the back entry over there, but
it seems like it wants to be over there because they've got kind of.
It's got a better front entry. This one has a better front entry.
Yeah.
You're coming in.
Has a space.
And there's no closet, but it's a better space. And I just wanted to make a note. Look at how great it is to not have that front garage.
Yeah, huge difference.
Huge difference. And actually
a
porch on the front. Yeah. And I like the organization of that. I think
it works really well.
That's quite nice. The other problem I thought with this house, and it's relatively minor, is with the kitchen.
The kitchen looks odd to me. It looks because they're trying to get the circulation through to that back area.
Yeah.
They've got sort of almost that sort of double island kind of thing where they've had to, it's too wide between the island and the back.
Yeah.
So they've added that extra counter, but that counter is really right in the circulation zone. And so it's, like the core of the kitchen is all right with the island, but then that sort of double counter makes it kind of awkward. Like
Yeah.
it kind of defines the whole thing as kitchen.
Exactly. And then we've got the powder for bathrooms. I also thought that there was a problem, and for me, it's the location of that bathroom way in the back there.
I don't mind that as much. I think for me the bigger problem is the master. I think that the
I thought you were
design.
gonna say that.
Well, I don't. The powder room doesn't bug me as much. I think it's okay. I think the master to me is one of those opulent styles where the tub is centered on the door, and it seems very, very sort of Baroque. And I don't like those two single sinks with no storage. We've got that same
Well,
problem.
it is a problem by splitting the sinks. I agree. It's not as supersized or as opulent as some of them, right? It's
No.
not that much wasted space. I think the layout is okay. It's more of a personal
I
issue
know.
about whether the tub is organized on
So
the
we're
door.
going to agree to disagree on that one. We're both going to not score the
Right, we
bathrooms,
don't
but
score
for
it.
different reasons.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let's have a look at the second one.
The second one is the slightly bigger unit, and it scored. I gave it a 15
Yeah.
because I thought that again it was the entry and the bathrooms that were the problem with
Right.
this one. What I thought was interesting is this one has an interior patio.
I have
on
to
the
say,
side,
I
which
really like that
Isn't
because
that cool?
well, what it does, what's really interesting is with the living space, because the kitchen's on the front, it's taking the view and the light from the street, but it's actually able to capture that light from basically an internal spot by having the light come through the patio.
Exactly.
And it's open on both floors, and I think it actually creates a nice hallway space on the upper
Exactly.
floor too,
Yeah.
which is really nice.
It does. The other notable feature is that they've got a separate studio at the back, accessed from a set of stairs.
That's kind of cool.
That could be used as an office, a granny suite, something like that. Which,
Yeah.
which I think is also an interesting idea.
Yeah.
So the two problems that I saw was, again, with the entrance. This one has a back entrance.
Yeah.
And that I think works much, much better
Yeah.
than the other. I like that. I like the
Yeah.
organization with the stair and the patio. The entry, for me, at
The front is a
isn't as
problem.
good.
No,
not
'cause it
as,
goes-
not, no, it's not totally bad, but it's just
No,
not
but
as
like
good,
you have to
right?
look at it. The entry is just basically sized to fit the door.
I
It
know.
basically just contains the door, and then all of a sudden you're like right into the main space, and I think that's too bad.
Yeah.
Kitchen here is a lot better, I think, where it's
Yeah.
located, and
I
I think
agree.
that it looks good. I still have an issue with that master
Well, now
bath.
this one I have the issue with
So-
the master bath too, and it's for me it's the tub in between the.
It seems
the
smaller,
sinks.
like less, like the sink area seems smaller than the last
Yeah.
one, and there seems to be more floor space in the way it kind of juts out.
Yep.
Not very good.
So there's your options. The slow home test, as we've scored it, 14 versus 15, so they're pretty close. They're both moderately slow. They would be doing a lot better if they had some environmental features on the slow home test. So I think they're good projects. They're viable houses to consider. So which one do you think
Yeah.
you would buy? If you want to know what we think, just keep watching. If you want to think about it, stop the player. Okay, so if you haven't stopped the player, then you can. What do you think?
No. This week you're going to answer
You're
first.
gonna go first?
No. You're going first because
All right.
because you always put me first and then you choose the opposite. So you choose. Go.
I'm going to choose the second one. I'm going to choose the Milano. I think it's the better project. I really like that interior courtyard, and I really like the studio at the back. I think the kitchen's better. The two problems are relatively minor. The front porch or the front entry, I think, is unfortunate, but it's not going to affect things on a day-to-day basis. And I think that the bathroom, I think you can live with.
I'm going to agree with you.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Should we give each other a hug?
No.
Nah.
All right. Well, tomorrow we've got a big day. We've got a design project to do, and we are going to be talking about our book. So we'll see you then.